Coming up, authorities have a suspect in the deadly shooting which took place during a football game at McLean High School in Tulsa.
Rain is finally on the way. We're watching it down across parts of central Oklahoma. It'll make its way here later today. We'll talk about that coming up.
And a crew of local linemen returned back home after lending their time and skills to help restore power after Hurricane Ian.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Buck.
I'm Chris Warner. So rain is in the forecast. It's finally here.
Yay.
It's finally here. This is some rain just outside of Oklahoma City, slowly rolling up by 44. Don't worry, it will get here, and it will give us a decent shot of rain over the next few days, actually. Right now, though, we've got some partly cloudy skies in Joplin at 7th and Range Line, 60 degrees. The light breeze out of the south-southwest will be picking up a little bit later today. Got good temperatures. We're still mild, though. 61 in Welch, 54 Neosho, 57 Pittsburgh, and 55 in Yates Center as we start the day. If you've got some commuting, the good news is the rain's going to hold off. This is the MoDOT camera looking live at 36 in Range Lines. We have a green light for your morning commute. We got 50s as you start your day, mostly clear skies and heading home. Clouds will be on the increase. Temperatures in the 70s ahead of the rain, and then the rain will get here. Allergy sufferers, even better news for you all. 4.5 out of 12 on the pollen count today, 2.7 out of 12 tomorrow. Kids getting on the bus this morning. Again, they should have a decent day. Mostly clear, 56. When they come home, we'll still have partly to mostly cloudy skies, 78 with that wind gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. Going through today, we'll stay dry through most of the day, 79 for an afternoon high. It's tonight that the rain and thunderstorm chances start to move in. We'll drop back down to an early morning low of 61 before we turn around and start to warm up again. Now, I want to advise everybody, the amount of lightning in that graphic is not necessarily indicative of the fact that we're expecting all out just, a hailfire and brimstone tonight. It's just the lightning in that graphic. That's the only lightning option I had for nighttime. I have 100 daytime lightning options, but only one for nighttime, and it makes it look as though we're getting a shock and awe campaign from Mother Nature.
Didn't you know that's the only way lightning looks at night?
Apparently so. It's very frequent and bright, but we are expecting thunderstorms, though. Don't get me wrong. There will be thunderstorms. They just aren't expected to be as intense as that lightning seems to indicate. So we'll talk about the 7-day because you're really going to like the 7-day. We've got some fall-like weather, and today is not the only chance of rain that we have.
All right, sounds like a plan. All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Tulsa police name a suspect in the deadly shooting that happened at McLean High School football versus Miami. Police say the suspect is 16-year-old Navian Lee Golden. He's accused of shooting and killing 17-year-old Teron Yarbrough and injuring 3 others, including a 9-year-old girl. Golden is charged with first-degree murder and 3 counts of shooting with intent to kill. Authorities in Joplin respond to reports of a possible intoxicated driver who then led them on a chase. On Friday night, officers arrived to the area of 2623 West 7th Street, where the driver did not stop and led officers on a chase south on Schifferdecker Avenue. They deployed deflation spikes when the driver then fired 2 gunshots at officers before stopping his car. Authorities say he refused to leave his car and fired another shot at officers before the SWAT team arrived. He then complied, and officers arrested him without further incident. He has been identified as Jonathan Green, and he is charged with 2 counts of first-degree assault, 2 counts of armed criminal action, and resisting arrest. All 4 inmates who escaped from the Ottawa County Jail on Tuesday have found their way back into custody. One, Rusty Reese, was captured shortly afterwards, and then on Wednesday morning, Buck Martindale was also captured. Tyler Tavis was arrested Friday morning in Joplin. And that same afternoon, Daniel Zajac was found inside a home in Miami and taken into custody. 2 other people were arrested at the home. All 4 inmates are facing new charges from the escape. 15,000 gallons of vinegar spill in Webb City late Sunday afternoon. A tanker rollover happened on the MacArthur roundabout. The driver of the tanker did not sustain any serious injuries, but he was transported to a local hospital. The MacArthur roundabout is closed for eastbound traffic, so vehicles cannot travel east. Please plan accordingly, as this will be an hours-long cleanup. 6 Carthage water and electric plant workers return home from their trip to Orlando, Florida after helping to restore power following Hurricane Ian. Workers say 98,000 customers were without power last week after the hurricane went through town. The workers fixed critical outages as places such as hospitals first and then moved on to individuals. The workers say flooding was the biggest problem they had in the city as they tried to drive through 3 feet of water. They say even locals had not seen as much flooding in their lives.
They've never seen any type of flooding like that. It's never been up to their doors or over the roads. They've got a lot of drainage canals behind their houses, and that's what caused all the flooding with all the water.
Workers say they had to be aware of wild animals when working during the flooding, animals like alligators and snakes. Coming up later in the show, our own Yana Hatula sits down with some of the linemen to get a closer look at their efforts in Florida. Well, some kids at Mark Twain Elementary in Carthage got to show off their cool engineering projects for the public to see. Projects are part of their engineering unit in the class to teach the students about the engineering field. One class designed ways to keep ants from getting into their picnic. The other class came up with their own problems and their own solutions.
Time the kids can create and build, they love that, and they have such creative minds, more creative than mine, and I'm just pretty proud of them.
There were robots, helicopters, airplanes, all made with simple household items like cotton balls, Q-tips, and paper.
Just a quick update. Sometimes early in the morning, you don't always catch everything when you're looking at stuff. It happens to all of us. The MacArthur roundabout is not closed this morning. If you've got commuting plans this morning, you're clear, you're good. This happened a couple of days ago, but it was quite a mess. Now, if you've got some hunting plans or any other activities today, sunrise is going to be 7:21. And sunset gets a little earlier, 6:48 tonight. Now, the 7-day forecast everybody's going to like. Look at this. Rain chances hold on all the way through Wednesday. Now, I will say this. We are watching the possibility that a few of the thunderstorms we get could get a little on the strong side. We'll keep an eye on them. But otherwise, we're getting a good helping of rain, thunderstorms. We stay fall-like. We warm up briefly, and then we have another chance of thunderstorms as we head into the closeout of next weekend.
All right. Well, that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, MSSU Lions kick off homecoming week with a gridiron matchup against rivals Lincoln. Did they have what it takes to bring a win to the tailgaters at the Fred G. Hughes Stadium? Chris has the answer in sports.
Plus, the destruction of a bridge which links Russia to Crimea brings a fresh round of shelling to civilian areas in Ukraine. This while President Biden warns of Russia's potential nuclear threat.
And a new study shows colonoscopies may reduce cancer deaths by as much as 50%. We'll have the details. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Well, the Pitt State Gorillas came out on top of a highly anticipated top 10 matchup against Northwest on Saturday. 7th-ranked Gorillas are now 6-0. Chad Dodson Jr. threw for 283 yards and connected with Bryce Murphy. Devin Garrison and Colby Katzis for touchdowns. That fueled a 21-3 lead at halftime, but it was all Northwest in the second. Pitt State stopped a late 2-point conversion attempt to seal the win in front of 10,000 fans.
Championship teams win the big ones like that, and no matter how it happens, they get it done. It's amazing, and like I said, it's a collective team effort. Offense, defense, special teams, collective team effort.
A ton of credit to our crowd today, our band, our students. It was a great environment today, and we challenged the crowd to be loud, and they came through. So appreciate them, and they get as much credit as anybody for the win today.
Missouri Southern beat Lincoln on Saturday 37-14 and improved to 4-2 on the season. Jaden Stoshak returned a punt 76 yards for a touchdown. Colton Winder had 2 interceptions, and Nathan Glades ran for 96 yards and a score. The Lions built a comfortable lead early on and were able to give their twos some valuable reps.
I've talked publicly about the need to get our 2 deep going. We've got to have 2s and 3s to be able to withstand this league, and so to have a ball game where we could get guys some reps, we can develop guys, that's huge. You saw some guys flying around, saw guys making mistakes, but normally you don't get a chance to correct them in live footage. Normally it's practice that you're looking at, but Live bullets are completely different.
TCU handed Kansas its first loss of the season, 38-31. Jayhawks quarterback Jalen Daniels exited the game with a shoulder injury. Jason Bean filled the role well. He threw for 4 touchdowns and 262 yards, but Kansas came up just short.
Really proud of the way we battled, being down, losing Jalen. And I think we showed ourselves very well that we can line up and play against people. We just got to clean some things up. I think we left opportunities out there.
Here's a look at how the college football rankings shake out following Week 6. Oklahoma State slides down 1 spot. They're ranked 8th, and this coming week is a big one for the Cowboys. They go on the road to face 13th-ranked TCU. Kansas State jumps up 3 spots into 17th, and Kansas remains at 19 following its first loss of the season. Jayhawks look to bounce back against Oklahoma this Saturday. Kansas City has an extra day of rest this week. Chiefs host the Raiders tonight. Chiefs are 3-1 entering tonight's matchup. And through the first 4 weeks, Kansas City has allowed the fewest rushing yards in the entire league. Here's Chris Jones on the impact that defensive line coach Joe Cullen has made on the group.
I've been in this system 4 years. That's what's changed. Joe Cullen, his demeanor, our game plan, the way he brings the best out of us individually and the defensive line group. And, we harp on that. We take accountability to stop the run. That's high priority on our list, and it gives us the ability to rush the passer once we stop the run. So force teams to pass the ball and do what we love to do most and get after the quarterback.
Still to come, protests in Iran continue despite brutal crackdowns by Iranian security forces, including the deaths of at least 2 people. Plus, we got some weather trivia for you and a check of some rain coming in when the KOAM Morning News returns. First off, as we do every day at this time, with some weather trivia. In 1995, hailstones as big as cricket balls wreaked havoc on parts of Texas. Where did this happen? Was it Houston, San Antonio, Austin, or Dallas-Fort Worth? We'll let you think about that, but you may not have time to, we just gave away the answer. Okay, well, it was Dallas-Fort Worth. We'll come back to it in a minute. Don't need to think, and it's a good thing too because we got a lot to talk about with rain. Right now, Skywatch Storm Tracker clear in our area. We're watching off to the southwest around Oklahoma City with some showers and a few rumblers out there that are going to make their way our way later this evening. We'll stay dry most of today, but we will start to see rain and it'll hang on for a little while. We got partly cloudy skies in Joplin, 60 degrees right now, the light south-southwest breeze, and that'll pick up later as well. 58 Independence, 55 Yates Center, 59 Chanute, 57 in Pittsburgh, and 59 in Carthage as we start the day. The MODOK camera looking live at 36 in Rangeline in Joplin. So far, so good. And our commuter cast has a green light for your morning commute. Mostly clear skies, temperatures in the 50s, and a green light for your commute home. The rain holding off until later tonight. We'll have increasing clouds through the evening and temperatures in the 70s. And then we'll talk rain. Allergy sufferers, we've had nothing but great news for you, and it gets better from here. 4.5 out of 12 for the pollen count today, and it drops to a 2.7 out of 12 tomorrow. Kids getting on the bus this morning. We're going to be mostly clear, 56 degrees with that southwest breeze, and it'll pick up later today. We'll be mostly cloudy at 3, 78. As we go through today, like I said, we'll stay dry for most of today, 79 for the high with increasing clouds. And then as we head into tonight, that's when we see shower and thunderstorm chances increase. We'll drop to a low of 61 early and then start to rise again through the evening. So, by the way, the answer, of course, was Dallas-Fort Worth. Let's get back to that real quick because I accidentally hit the wrong button, and that's what happens. But these, just so you know, a cricket ball measures at least 8.81 inches, weighs 5.75 ounces. Rain holds on all the way through Wednesday. We are watching the possibility of maybe an isolated strong storm or two out there. We'll keep an eye on them for you. We stay fall-like until the weekend, and then we watch additional rain chances by next Sunday. Well, Russia ramped up shelling attacks on Ukraine following a massive explosion that destroyed part of the only bridge that links Crimea to Russia. The bridge provides a key route for the Kremlin's war effort in southern Ukraine. This comes amid concerns that Russian President Vladimir Putin could turn to nuclear weapons as Ukrainian troops continue to take back territory. Bradley Blackburn reports.
Over the weekend, shelling in the city of Zaporizhia left more than a dozen people dead and many others injured. Ukraine's president renewed his call to designate Russia a terrorist state. Terrorism is a crime that must be punished, Vladimir Zelensky said in his nightly video address. In the aftermath of the weekend attack, this resident of a building damaged by the blast in southeastern Ukraine asked why it was targeted, saying the area has no military factories. The deadly shelling followed a Saturday blast that damaged the Kerch Bridge, which is strategically and symbolically important for Russia. The bridge connects Russia to Crimea, illegally annexed by Russia after its 2014 invasion. Russian President Vladimir Putin called the incident a terrorist act, saying it was masterminded by Ukrainian special services. Putin's anger over the attack and concerns about how he'll respond follow President Biden's off-camera comments last week about the Russian president's threat to use nuclear weapons. The president said the possibility of nuclear Armageddon is at the highest level since the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis.
I think Joe Biden is right to just, get this country ready for the fact that you are dealing with an incredibly dangerous human being in Russia. The war is going badly, and you just can't predict what he's going to do next.
The White House said Friday that the U.S. has seen no indications of an imminent Russian nuclear attack. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
In that Kerch Bridge attack, the chairman of Russia's investigative committee again blames Ukrainian special services, but also insists citizens of Russia and other countries took part, adding that a criminal investigation is underway. To date, the U.S. has spent roughly $54 billion on aid to Ukraine, and that brings us to our question for you. Should the U.S. continue to support continue its support for Ukraine? So yes or no, you can vote through our website, through the app. Take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. Back with Healthwatch right after this.
Topping Healthwatch this morning, a new study suggests colonoscopy may reduce the risk of dying of colorectal cancer by as much as 50%. The catch is that it's only true when people who actually get the scan. The study published Sunday in the New England Journal of Medicine looked at 84,000 European patients. Those who agreed to undergo colonoscopy reduced the risk by 31% compared to those who were not screened. But the study also determined that 455 people would need to be invited to do a colonoscopy to prevent one case of cancer. The authors admitted they actually expected even more convincing results from the study. New information suggests COVID-19 vaccines saved a lot of lives in 2021. A study released Friday found vaccinations led up to 370,000 fewer coronavirus deaths last year, as well as nearly 700,000 fewer hospitalizations. Officials stated vaccinations also saved more than $16 billion in medical costs. Researchers came to this conclusion after analyzing info from nearly 27 million Medicare enrollees and looking at data from the Delta and Omicron surges in 2021. With this in mind, health officials are urging more Americans to get updated COVID boosters. Well, a source says the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention will soon update its pandemic guidance for congregate settings such as prisons, retirement and group homes and homeless shelters. That's according to a source close to planning discussions. A source said the guidance for non-medical high-risk congregate settings will be streamlined. Currently, the CDC web pages on COVID guidance for these institutions features a notice that reads, the CDC is reviewing this page to align with updated guidance. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we are watching some rain chances across the area. Skywatch storm tracker is dry now, and it will remain that way most of the day, but we're watching and waiting for showers and thunderstorms to come in out of Oklahoma and give us some much needed rainfall across the area. 7th in range line, we are partly cloudy, and I say that because I saw the partly cloudy skies on the way in. 60 degrees, wind is south-southwest at 8 miles an hour, but it'll be gusting later to 20. 55 in Yates Center, 57 Parsons, 59 Columbus, 56 in Miami, and 55 in Neosho. MoDOT camera looking live at 36 in range line in Joplin. Traffic moving nicely right now, but it'll pick up later, of course. Green light for your morning commute Be mostly clear skies and in the 50s, and a green light for your drive home because the rain holds off until later tonight. And we'll have increasing clouds, though, as we go through the evening. Temperatures in the 70s. Allergy sufferers, phenomenal news for you as pollen counts continue to drop. 4.5 out of 12 today. Drops to a 2.7 on the forecast out of 12 for tomorrow. Kids getting on the bus and getting off the bus will stay dry. Mostly clear, 56 this morning. And then we'll be mostly cloudy, 78 by 3 o'clock with that gusty wind out of the southwest. Going through the rest of today, again, we stay dry for most of today. And we'll reach a high of 79, so very unseasonably warm. But if you're outside this morning, you can actually smell the rain out there. Clouds will begin to increase, though, through the evening, and then we will have shower and thunderstorm chances all night long and into tomorrow morning. We'll hit an early morning low of 61 before we start to warm up a bit ahead with some of the rain and thunderstorm chances. Now, as we head into tomorrow and Wednesday, there's the slight chance of an isolated strong storm or two, and we will keep an eye on that for you. But otherwise, we've got good rain shots Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Look at Tuesday, 68, 73 Wednesday. We stay fall-like all the way through Friday, and then Saturday we warm up before we watch another opportunity for rain by next Sunday. We're back with more right after this.
Coming up, authorities name a suspect in the deadly shooting which took place during a football game at McLean High School in Tulsa.
We are dry this morning. We'll remain that way most of the day, but what you can't see behind that little banner, some shower and thunderstorm activity in Oklahoma. We'll tell you all about that and what it's going to do for us coming up.
And a crew of local linemen return back home after lending their time and skills to help restore power after Hurricane Ian.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So this is one of the most exciting weather days I've had in a minute because we've actually got rain chances to talk about, good temperatures to talk about. There's a lot going on, and it's about time we get some rain, and we're going to get a decent amount of rain over the next few days. I did want to mention, though, that tomorrow and Wednesday, there's a slight chance of an isolated strong storm or two out there. We're not expecting widespread severe weather or anything like that at this point, but we will keep an eye on it for you, and just in case some of the thunderstorms we see decide to get a little bit rowdy. But thunderstorms in general mean heavier rain than what we get with just some of those showers. Right now in Joplin, looking pretty good, 7th and range line, 60 degrees, and across the area, we're still pretty mild. When I went out this morning, you could smell the rain. If you go outside this morning, our next commercial break, you'll smell the rain on the air. You know there's change coming. We got 53 in Iola, 57 Pittsburgh, 59 Carthage, and 55 in Monette. The MoDOT camera looking live at 36th in range line. Traffic is going all right so far this morning. Still early, though. Green light for your morning commute. Temperatures in the 50s with mostly clear skies. Rain holds off until late, so we got a green light for your evening commute. Increasing clouds, though. Temperatures in the 70s. And as we look at the bus stop forecast, take a look. Looking good for the kids, too. Mostly clear, 56 this morning at 7 a.m. Mostly cloudy skies by 3, 78 degrees with a gusty southwest wind, upwards of 20 miles an hour. Now, going through the rest of today, we're going to warm up, unseasonably warm, 79 degrees for the afternoon high under partly cloudy skies. And we have those clouds increasing as we head into the overnight. We have showers and thunderstorms building in. Overnight low of 61 early. Then we turn around and start to warm up just a little bit, but I'm going to tell you, we're not going to warm up a lot. We'll look at the 7-day forecast, talk about additional chances of rain and temperatures, what they'll do over the next few days here in a couple of minutes.
When do we think this rain might start moving in?
It'll be late this evening, sometime around 9, 10 o'clock tonight as it slowly moves in from the southwest. So we're watching those rain chances build in, and once they get here, though, they're going to hold on for a little bit. I mean, they'll be off and on again, but they're going to be here for a few days.
All right, looking forward to that, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Tulsa police name a suspect in the deadly shooting that happened at a McLean High School football game versus Miami. Police say the suspect is 16-year-old Navian Lee Golden. He's accused of shooting and killing 17-year-old Teron Yarbrough and injuring 3 others, including a 9-year-old girl. Golden is charged with first-degree murder and 3 counts of shooting with intent to kill. Authorities in Joplin respond to reports of a possible intoxicated driver who then led them on a chase. On Friday night, officers arrived to the area of 2623 West 7th Street, where the driver did not stop, led officers on a chase south of Schifferdecker Avenue. They deployed deflation spikes when the driver then fired 2 gunshots at officers before stopping his car. Authorities say he refused to leave his car and fired another shot at officers before the SWAT arrived. He then complied, and officers arrested him without further incident. He has been identified as Jonathan Green and is now charged with 2 counts of first-degree assault, 2 counts of armed criminal action, and resisting arrest. Carthage Water and Power Plant hosts a public power lunch on Friday to wrap up their Public Power Week celebration. KOAM's Yana Hatula talked with some of the workers who helped restoring power in Florida.
We are here in Carthage to meet with 6 Carthage Water and Electric Plant workers who were restoring power in Orlando following Hurricane Ian.
So we had to use these sticks from the ground to throw them back in.
As Hurricane Ian swept through Florida, millions of customers lost power. Once the storm moved out, a crew from Carthage Water and Electric Plant was ready to help.
A lot of the stuff was down in backyards and houses, and the overgrowth of the trees and stuff back in those lines made it tough to get lines strung back up sometimes.
First, the crew fixed power for the critical outages at places like hospitals. They moved on to individuals later on. Crew members told me the hardest part was driving through water.
I've never worked in anything like that where we were pushing our trucks through 2.5 to 3 foot of water just to get to the residents to restore their power.
With the flooding, wild animals such as alligators and snakes were pushed out from their habitat.
Come across one alligator, it was about 50 foot away from us on a pole, but that alligator didn't even move while we was there, so that was a little interesting. We've never seen that before.
The Floridians who did not evacuate were appreciative for the work of the crew.
They were curious how we were doing things and all that, especially with the kids. The kids were always coming up. They were having fun with the water and you know, getting to know us.
We have really good equipment to work with, and it was just nice to be able to go down there and help them out the best we could.
In Carthage, Yana Hatula, KOAM News.
The crew members were just a few of the hundreds, if not thousands, that responded to help Florida. Well, this morning we are discussing U.S. support for Ukraine.
Russia ramped up shelling attacks on Ukraine following a massive explosion that destroyed part of the only bridge that links Crimea to Russia. The bridge provides a key route for the Kremlin's war effort in southern Ukraine.
Shelling left more than a dozen people dead and many others injured. One resident in a building that had been damaged asked why it had been targeted, as the area has no military facilities.
That's the latest round of violence follows President Joe Biden's off-camera remarks about the Russian president's possible use of nuclear weapons. Now, the U.S. to date has spent roughly $54 billion on aid to Ukraine.
Which brings us to our question. Should the U.S. continue its support for Ukraine? Simple yes or no.
And so far, 63% of you say yes, we should. 37% of you say no, we shouldn't. Make sure you vote through our website at koamnewsnow.com/vote. You can also do so in the app. Take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. Rain is the theme for the next couple of days as we watch rain chances increase today, this evening, late tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday, and then we clear out, warm up, heading into Saturday, and then we watch another cool down and additional rain chances as we head into next Sunday. Look at Thursday's low, 67 for the high, 43 for the overnight low. So very fall-like weather, at least for a couple of days following the rain. And again, I just want to remind folks, we are watching the possibilities. I checked this morning. There is the slight chance tomorrow and Wednesday that some of the thunderstorms we see may be a little on the strong to low-grade severe side, and we'll keep an eye on that for you should any of them decide to get a little nasty. But otherwise, we're looking at good rain chances.
When I noticed the chances from last week's 7-day projections to what's going to happen is they've increased significantly.
They have, and the more we look at the data, the better those rain chances are. And I know it's something we need here in the 4 states. This rain really isn't going to do a lot to quash the drought, but rain of any kind is going to be beneficial.
That's right. Well, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, we're headed out west where the Sacramento Fire Department hosts its annual Girls Fire Camp to get the next generation of firefights ready for duty.
Plus, we've got the miraculous story of a 3-year-old toddler who survived the recent Thailand shooting massacre. We'll have the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping Worldwatch, a 3-year-old child survived last week's massacre at a nursery in Thailand, thanks to what a relative is calling a, quote, miracle. Pavinat Supalawang nicknamed Amy, was asleep under a blanket covering her face when a killer broke into the nursery and murdered more than 30 people, including 22 children. Amy was the only child untouched by the violence. Community came together to grieve and performed a ritual for children who endure tragedies. Amy was carried out without seeing the bodies of her deceased classmates, including her best friend. Anti-government protests in Iran are still going strong despite a massive crackdown by security forces, with demonstrators chanting "Woman, Life, Freedom," the signature slogan of the uprising. More rallies were held Saturday in many parts of the country. Activists say security forces tried to stop the movement and killed at least 2 people as they fired at the crowds, but demonstrators have remained defiant. They're still calling for an end to authoritarianism, with many demanding the ouster of their leaders. And days of heavy rainfall leads to a massive landslide in Venezuela. At least 25 people have died and more than 50 people are missing after the landslide on Sunday in Venezuela's Aragua state. Landslide, which came down in the Santos Michelina municipality, was caused by an overflow of 5 streams of the Las Tararias River in Aragua state. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro said he had ordered the maximum deployment of the Interior Ministry and the security agencies to respond to the emergency. More than 1,000 officials from the National Risk Management System and police officers are participating in the search and rescue plan in the Santos Michelina. Well, fire engulfs Pakistan's Centaurus shopping mall. The fire took place on Sunday. Although people were trapped in the building, rescue efforts led them to safety through a rear route, and a helicopter was brought in to aid in the rescue and firefighting. Firefighters managed to bring the flames under control, and authorities say the mall will remain sealed until an investigation into the cause of the fire can be investigated. The mall is only a small part of the building, which also includes a 36-floor hotel. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, rain chances are something we've been talking about because we've got them on the way finally across the area. Right now, though, we are dry and 60 degrees in Joplin, and through most of the day we'll be dry. 54 Yates Center, Fredonia, 57 Parsons, 60 Columbus, 59 Carthage, Lamar, and 58 in Nevada. The MoDOT camera looking live at 36 in Rangeline. Traffic's still good. It's still early, though, and our commuter cast is good. We've got a green light for your morning commute, mostly clear skies, temperatures in the 50s, and a green light for your drive home because the rain will hold off until later tonight. We'll be increasing clouds through the afternoon, temperatures in the 70s. And on the bus stop forecast, take a look. Kids are going to be dry, which is good. 56, mostly clear this morning with that southwest breeze. It'll be gusting later today, upwards of 20, mostly cloudy and 78 by 3. Going through the rest of the day, we will reach an unseasonably warm high of 79 degrees. We'll watch increasing clouds through the evening as we'll see shower and thunderstorm chances build in overnight, and they'll hang on. Overnight low of 61 early. We start to warm back up, but we don't do a lot of warming, as you'll see on the 7-day forecast, because we only get to 68 tomorrow. Shower and thunderstorm chances on Wednesday, and even better chance then. 67 Thursday, 75 on Friday, 86 by next Saturday. Then we watch temperatures drop and additional rain chances as we head into Sunday. Now, tomorrow and Wednesday, there's the chance that we could see an isolated strong storm or two across the area. We're not expecting a widespread severe weather event by any means, but some of these storms may get a little unruly, and of course if they do, we'll keep an eye on it for you. But otherwise, we're just looking at a decent amount of rain over the next few days with on again, off again shower and thunderstorm chances through Wednesday. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News coming your way after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Tulsa police name a suspect in the shooting that happened at a McLean High School football game. That suspect is 16-year-old Navian Lee Golden. He's accused of shooting and killing 17-year-old Teron Yarbrough and injuring 3 others, including a 9-year-old girl. Golden is charged with first-degree murder and 3 counts of shooting with intent to kill. 4 inmates escaped the Ottawa County Jail last Tuesday and are now all back in custody. Rusty Reese was captured shortly afterwards, and Buck Martindale was captured on Wednesday morning. Tyler Tavis was arrested Friday morning in Joplin. And that same afternoon, Daniel Zajac was found inside a home in Miami and taken into custody. 2 other people were arrested at the home. All 4 inmates are facing new charges from the escape. Late Sunday afternoon, a tanker rollover happened on the MacArthur roundabout. The driver of the tanker did not sustain any serious injuries, but he was transported to a local hospital. The MacArthur roundabout was closed to eastbound traffic for cleanup. And Columbus, Kansas kicked off the annual Columbus Day celebration. The event celebrated the city and people of Columbus, including a variety of events, including a scarecrow contest, art exhibit, kite flying, quilt show, bean feed, and a hot air balloon glow. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And that forecast you need to know before you head out the door. Rain is on the way. Right now, though, we're calm, 60 degrees in Joplin. Temperatures are mild across most of the area, 54 Sedan, 57 Parsons, Pittsburgh, 59 Lamar and Carthage, and 55 in Monette as we start the day. Live camera from MoDOT looking at 36 in range. Line traffic is good. Commutercast is good. Mostly clear through the morning in the 50s, and the rain doesn't get here till late, so we got a green light for your evening commute. We'll have increasing clouds as we go through the day. Temperatures in the 60s. Allergy sufferers, the news only gets better for you all. As a pollen count, 4.5 out of 12 today, 2.7 out of 12 for tomorrow. Now the kids getting on the bus this morning, they're going to be dry, mostly clear, 56. Then we get a gusty southwest breeze at about 20 miles an hour, mostly cloudy, still dry though, 78 when they get home. Going through today, we will warm up to an afternoon high of 79 degrees, while eventually increasing clouds heading into the evening, because tonight and overnights when we get into shower and thunderstorm activity, overnight low of 61 early about 2 a.m. and then we'll start to gradually warm back up a little bit, but we'll hold on to shower and thunderstorm chances most of tomorrow and most of Wednesday as well, and we won't do a lot of warming. 68 tomorrow, 73 Wednesday. A gradual warm up heading into the weekend, then we watch additional rain chances by next Sunday. And a quick reminder, we do have the slight chance that between Tuesday and Wednesday, some of the storms we see could get a little on the strong, the low grade severe side. And if they do that, we of course will keep an eye on them here for you, but otherwise just some good rain chances. We're back with more right after this.
Sacramento City Fire Department has been working overtime to inspire the next generation of firefighters.
It's time for the annual Girls Fire Camp, an event that's designed to inspire more women to consider careers in emergency services.
Aaron Heff takes us there.
It's a day in the life, encouraging a love for public service and commitment to community. Sacramento City Fire's Girls Fire Camp.
I've only seen this stuff in like TVs and movies, and I thought it was so cool. I get to come here and see the stuff in real life.
Designed to train teens like Isabella Wade for a life in the fire department.
Meeting really cool people like who put themselves in dangers to help other people and stuff. And it's something that I really look up to people like that.
Led by local firefighters with years of experience.
Empowerment is the core of what we do and the mission that we're trying to carry out here.
Learning real life skills like search and rescue, first aid, CPR, and so much more.
We're using saws, we're doing hoses, we're raising ladders, we're climbing up these massive buildings.
A leader in our nation's fire service, the National Fire Protection Association, in the last few years found data that says each year more women join fire departments. But even with growing numbers, women still make up around 10% of departments. But just because data may point towards that now, the future of the industry may very well be influenced from days like today, because you may very well be looking at the future of fire.
Just seeing all these women around here who are doing so much for the fire service and being firefighters, it kind of just seeing it and believing it, you know? Just I can see them doing these amazing things, and now I can do these amazing things to help my community.
Well, the camp is open to high school teens in the Sacramento area and is free to attend.
Sacramento Fire Department uses an inclusive definition of girls in this case.
That includes female identifying, transgender, non-binary, and other non-conforming individuals.
I think camps like this are important, you know, whether you're a guy or a girl or anything in between, simply because we do need more first responders out there, because somebody's got to save my life when I'm choking on something or, you know, whatever else happens. Or even if you're in a car crash, somebody's got to be out there to save your life. Somebody's got to be out there protecting your property.
Well, and even if these girls don't go into the firefighting field, they've learned skills that are going to help them throughout their life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we've got rain on the way. We'll talk about that coming up. We've got some rain on the way later today, so I know everybody's been looking forward to it, and it's finally here. Right now, though, we are dry. We are 61 in Joplin with a light south-southwest breeze, and that'll be gusting a little bit later today. 54, Yates Center, Fredonia, and Sedan. 59, Chanute, Lamar. 52, Iola. 57, Fort Scott, and 59 in Carthage as we start this day. The MoDOT camera looking live at 36 in Range Lines. Traffic starting to pick up this morning, and as you begin your morning commute, we got a green light, clear skies, most temperatures rather in the 50s. As we go through this evening, the good news is, at least for the drive home, the rain holds off until later tonight. So another green light. Partly cloudy skies, clouds increase, temperatures in the 70s. Allergy sufferers, the good news only gets better for you as well. 4.5 out of 12 on the pollen count today, 2.7 out of 12 on the pollen count for tomorrow. Kids getting on the bus this morning, they'll be dry, 56, mostly clear, and then we have that gusty southwest breeze and mostly cloudy skies by 3, 78. We'll eventually warm up to a high of 79, and then we'll have clouds gradually increase later this evening as well, because as we head into tonight and into tomorrow, we'll see increasing shower and thunderstorm chances with a low of 61 early. We warm up a little bit, and honestly, that's a very little warm up because we're only going to reach a high of 68 tomorrow and 73 Wednesday. We hold on to shower and thunderstorm chances for the next few days. We have a gradual warm up from Thursday into the weekend, and then we watch additional rain chances by next Sunday. And of course, there is the slight chance of an isolated strong storm or two tomorrow and Wednesday. And we'll keep an eye on that for you. We've got more of the KOAM morning news right after this.
Coming up, people of the 4 states can now be at ease as all 4 inmates that escaped the Ottawa County Jail are caught.
We are dry on the Skywatch storm tracker locally, but as we head to the southwest, building showers and thunderstorms. They'll make their way here. When and how much, we'll tell you coming up.
And the city of Carthage kicks off its Maple Leaf celebration with an Oktoberfest party.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner, now officially 6 a.m. It's Monday. I feel like it was just yesterday we were celebrating the fact it was Friday. This weekend went by way too fast. It was a good weekend. And I think that's probably why it went by so fast, because it was a really good weekend. Kids had some football Saturday in Carthage, and we went to Oktoberfest after that.
And you were the MC for that, too.
for the second half of that. And then Sunday was just a really lazy day, but Sunday's the day I do my laundry, so that I think made Sunday go by a little faster as well. So.
Oh, you're ahead of me. I was lazy, but did not do laundry.
Okay, well, see, it's just, my thing is every Sunday is when I do my laundry. That way I've got everything, mostly clean, ready to go until I get it dirty first thing in the morning.
Yeah, we spent the day working. Our hot water heater went out over the weekend.
Oh, that's lovely.
Just in time for the cooler weather.
Oh, right. That's exactly how that goes. So,
Yeah.
You wouldn't have it any other way, though.
Of course.
And something else that people wouldn't have any other way is rain. Take a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker. Shower and thunderstorm activity on the increase across Oklahoma, and it will be on the increase across our area as we go later into tonight. Right now, though, we are dry at 7th and Range Line, 61 degrees with a light south-southwest breeze. 51 Yates Center, Iola, 56 Fort Scott, 57 Pittsburgh, 56 in Miami, and 55 in Neosho as we start this day. MoDOT camera looking live at 36 in Range Line, looking good on traffic, and a green light for your morning commute, mostly clear skies in the 50s. Drive home, the rain holds off until later, so at least for the drive home, that's good news. Increasing clouds, temperatures in the 70s. Allergy sufferers, pollen counts continue to drop, 4.5 out of 12 today and a 2.7 out of 12 for tomorrow. Now, kids, get on the bus. We'll be mostly clear this morning, 56 degrees. Wind increases, gusting upwards of 20. Mostly cloudy at 3 o'clock, 78. And again, we stay dry for the majority of the day today, 79 for an afternoon high. It's tonight that we get in on the shower and thunderstorm activity. Drop back down to an early overnight low of 61 degrees. We're 64 by 6 a.m. We only get up to 68 tomorrow. And then, as I've been mentioning, because I just want to keep people apprised, there is the low-end chance of a stray, strong, or low-grade severe thunderstorm tomorrow and Wednesday with some of the activity that we're seeing. So we will keep an eye on that for you. The chance is relatively low, but we will keep an eye on it for you if any of these storms decide to get a little out of hand. But the one advantage to thunderstorms, just in general, is they bring much heavier rain than just shower activity.
Right.
So, and rain is something we desperately need here in the 4 states.
That is for sure. All right, we'll keep an eye on that.
We will.
Right.
We'll keep an eye on all
Go
that.
rain. Yeah.
Exactly. And we'll look at the 7-day
Come
forecast.
rain. Yeah,
and
there you go.
More rain chances, believe it or not.
Even
Coming
better.
up.
Even better. Thanks, Chris. All of the inmates who escaped from the Ottawa County Jail this week are now back in custody. 4 inmates escaped the jail on Tuesday. One, Rusty Reese, was captured shortly afterwards. And then on Wednesday morning, a second, Buck Martindale, was also captured. However, 2 remained at large until Friday. Tyler Tavis was arrested Friday morning in Joplin. And that same afternoon, Daniel Zajac was found inside a home in Miami and taken into custody. 2 other people were arrested at that home. All 4 inmates are facing new charges from the escape. Tulsa police have named a suspect in the deadly shooting that happened a week ago at McLean High School football game versus Miami. Police say the suspect is 16-year-old Navian Lee Golden. He's accused of shooting and killing 17-year-old Teron Yarbrough and injuring 3 others, including a 9-year-old girl. Golden is charged with first-degree murder and 3 counts of shooting with intent to kill. Authorities in Joplin Friday night responded to reports of a possible intoxicated driver who then led them on a chase. Officers arrived to the area of 2623 West 7th Street where the driver did not stop and led officers on a chase south on Schifferdecker Avenue. They say they deployed deflation spikes when the driver then fired 2 gunshots at officers before stopping his car. They then say he refused to leave his car and fired another shot at officers before the SWAT arrived. He then complied. Officers arrested him without further incident. He has been identified as Jonathan Green and is charged with 2 counts of first-degree assault, 2 counts of armed criminal action, and resisting arrest. The city of Carthage kicks off its Oktoberfest and Maple Leaf celebration in the Carthage Central Park. A multitude of activities such as live music, food trucks, beer garden, games, and much more.
People coming together and celebrating the heritage of Carthage as our parade goes around the square, as people come together. It's a weekend full of reunions, class reunions, and just a time when families up and down all over the community have really embraced the fact that we are America's Maple Leaf City.
The city of Carthage holds its Maple Leaf Parade this coming Saturday. With the football season in full swing, that means tailgate season is too. And every year Pitt State has Gorilla Fest, which is the official tailgate before the Pitt State Gorillas football game. Tailgate features alumni games and live music.
Oh yeah, it's, Gorilla Village, if you just look around at the crowd that comes in on game day, they're just awesome. People live for game day Saturdays here at Pitt State.
Gorilla Fest takes place in Gorilla Village, east of Carney Smith Stadium.
Real quick check of the sunrise sunset time for today. It's going to come up at about 7:21 this morning, and it'll go back to bed at about 6:48 tonight. Now that's 7-day forecast we promised you. We are 68 tomorrow, 73 Wednesday, holding on to those shower and thunderstorm chances. We warm up heading into Saturday, and then we start to cool off again by next Sunday as we watch some additional shower and thunderstorm chances build into the area. So we're finally getting some much needed rain around here.
That's right. And that's a look at this morning's top stories in weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, we meet a man who face plants, but, cute puppies are there, and that ends up not being all too bad for him.
Plus, a historic trial for a high-profile case involving the attacks on January 6th set to continue this week, and how World Mental Health Day is raising awareness of a global mental health crisis.
World Mental Health Day. I'm Ian Lee with tips to help your mental well-being.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, more than 4 months after the Texas elementary school mass shooting that killed 19 students and 2 teachers, Uvalde School District has suspended its entire police force. The extraordinary step comes as family members of the victims continue to question response by law enforcement. Bradley Blackburn has more on what happens next.
The police department responsible for the safety of students at Robb Elementary has now been told to stand down. In a press release Friday, the Uvalde School District said recent developments have uncovered additional concerns with department operations. As a result, the district has made the decision to suspend all activities of the Uvalde CISD Police Department for a period of time. They said 2 officers were placed on administrative leave and others will find other roles in the district. Victims' family members say it is a move they wanted.
Nobody wins in this case. There's no winners. The children can't come home, but it's something called transparency and it's something called accountability. So we are pleased with this, but it's not over yet.
During the mass shooting in May, officers waited more than an hour to enter a classroom and take down the gunman. In August, the district fired Police Chief Pete Arredondo, but families have been demanding more, staging protests outside the school administration building. This week, outrage grew after it was reported the district had hired a former state trooper who responded to the shooting as a school resource officer. She was fired Thursday. Family members say they still have questions.
I want to know, what time did the officers get there? What information were they told and how did they respond with that information? There's a lot that we have still questions about.
An investigation is ongoing. The district says for now it's asking additional state troopers to step in to help secure campuses. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
Longtime Uvalde school superintendent may also be stepping down. School trustees are set to discuss his retirement at a meeting today. Historic trial for the highest profile case in the January 6th attack at the Capitol resumes this week. Oath Keepers Stuart Rhodes is charged with seditious conspiracy, but the trial is also a test for the Justice Department. Here's CBS's Scott McFarlane.
A crime unlike any in the nation's history has led to a criminal trial unlike any in history. Stuart Rhodes, military vet, Yale law grad, and former congressional staffer, is founder of the far-right Oath Keepers group. Along with 4 co-defendants, he's standing trial for seditious conspiracy, accused of plotting to attack and block the peaceful transfer of power in America, and facing decades in prison if convicted. Former Justice Department attorney Michael Greenberger says no matter the outcome of the 6-week-long trial, history will be made.
This case is the most important seditious conspiracy case that was ever brought.
In the trial's opening days, prosecutors argued the group was plotting just days after the election. Jurors heard a clip of Rhodes from November 9, 2020, urging his group to be ready to fight to create a pathway to keep Trump in power.
I'm willing to sacrifice myself for that, but the fight starts there. Okay? Now give President Trump what he needs, frankly.
Prosecutors showed an open letter written by Rhodes to then-President Trump encouraging Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act to mobilize military veterans and militias and order a new election the militia would help administer. They played this interview clip of Rhodes for jurors.
We have men already stationed outside D.C. as a nuclear option.
Prosecutors argued the conspirators shared messages referencing civil war and predicting blood and violence. They said the group staged guns outside the D.C. limits and helped the execution of a military stack formation to breach the Capitol. For the Justice Department, which has gone to trial against approximately 20 January 6 defendants so far and won convictions in every case before a jury, the stakes here are higher. The Justice Department has limited experience going to trial on the charge of seditious conspiracy, but Greenberger says the trial itself could help avert a future attack.
Bringing the trial shows all these people out there think, oh, I'll go to Washington, I'll have a good time, it'll be fun, we'll break into the Capitol. No, you're going to end up, win or lose, convicted or not convicted, devoting a large part of your life and your fortune to defending yourself.
The trial resumes here in Washington Tuesday morning. It's expected to last 6 to 7 weeks, which means a verdict could come between Election Day and Thanksgiving. Scott McFarlane, CBS News, Washington.
That's a look at one of today's top national stories. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Quick check of your forecast. Skywatch storm tracker is clear, but look down in the corner of your screen. See those clouds, a little bit of rain? Let's take a closer look at that. Shower and thunderstorm activity continues to build across Oklahoma, and that's what it will do today as it slowly lifts off to the north and the east, and it'll bring us rain chances later today. Right now at 7th and Range Line, we are good looking. We are dry, and we'll actually be dry through most of today. 61 degrees is where we sit right now. 51 Yates Center, 55 Independence, 58 Welch, 56 Miami, 55 Neosho, 51 in Anderson. MoDOT camera looking live at 36 in Range Line. Traffic starting to pick up, but still flowing all right. Green light for your morning commute, mostly clear skies, temperatures in the 50s, and the rain holds off until late tonight. So that's why we've got a green light for your evening commute, but we'll start to see increasing cloud cover and temperatures in the 70s. Allergy sufferers, fantastic news for you as I just want to keep bringing you this great news. 4.5 out of 12 on the pollen count today and 2.7 out of 12 on the pollen count for tomorrow. Now, as kids start to get on the bus this morning, be mostly clear, 56 degrees with that southwest breeze. That southwest breeze will start gusting upwards of 20 a little later today. By 3 o'clock, 78, mostly cloudy. And we're going to head for a high of 79 degrees, and we'll start to see the increase in clouds. It's not until late tonight, say around 9, 10 o'clock, that we start to see thunderstorm chances increase. And then they will really increase through the overnight hours. An early overnight low of 61 right about 2 a.m. We gradually start to warm up by tomorrow morning. And we don't really warm up a lot, though. Future tracks, as we head into tomorrow morning, you can see by 10:30 we've got widespread shower and thunderstorm activity. Then we get another wave that comes through here Wednesday and gives us another chance of showers and thunderstorms. Then we clear out for a bit. So let's take a quick look at the 7-day forecast. We hold on to rain chances tomorrow, 68, 73 Wednesday with more shower and thunderstorm chances. We start to warm up heading into the weekend. So 67, 75, 86, and we start to cool down. We're looking at another shot of shower and thunderstorm chances by next Sunday. And a quick reminder for Tuesday and Wednesday, there is the slight chance that we could see a strong, low-grade severe thunderstorm with some of this activity tomorrow and Wednesday. We're not expecting widespread severe weather or anything like that, but there is that slight chance, and if that does happen, we, of course, will keep an eye on that for you here in the Skywatch Weather Center. Well, dog sitter went viral for face planting while trying to corral a bunch of pups. But as Jeannie Moose reports, the dogs didn't just leave him down and out.
It's easy to fall for 4 adorable Rottweiler puppies. But this is the kind of fall that isn't just embarrassing. When you're part of a super cute puppy video, your wipeout becomes a global joke.
The entire world has been making fun of me.
James Phillipson was dog sitting for his sister-in-law, who owns Morpheus, Memphis, Medusa, and Midas on a farm in Washington State.
They're very lovable puppies, and they just want to be wherever you are all the time.
So when James kept trying to keep them inside the gate, they kept wanting to follow him out. Back and forth they ran, and then awe turned to ouch. James blamed it on his own uncoordination. He says it was really painful. Are you okay? I mean, did you get hurt?
So that's the worst. So it really wasn't that bad.
The story does have a 10-week-old puppy hero named Memphis.
This puppy is just comforting me, and then he just starts crawling in between my legs.
Next, Morpheus comes and tugs on his hoodie string. Eventually, James dragged himself upright and resumed trying to corral the pups, at one point tossing one.
I feel terrible for that. I went back and cuddled those puppies.
Finally, the dog sitter was able to shut the gate, bringing to a close a story that left James with his tail between his legs. Make that a pup. Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
Boy, it's a nasty spill, but good thing those puppies were there to help out. We're back with Healthwatch right after this.
Topping Healthwatch this morning, health experts say the COVID-19 pandemic has created a global mental health crisis with a 25% rise in anxiety and depressive disorders in the first year of the outbreak. On this World Mental Health Day, researchers in Britain have released a list of ways to boost your well-being. Ian Lee reports from London.
It's been a tough couple of years, from coping with a pandemic to rising inflation.
Mental health getting a lot more difficult to deal with these last few years, especially after having to isolate and stuff.
If you find yourself struggling, experts say you're not alone.
The stats are similar in the US and the UK. About 1 in 6 people every week
experiencing diagnosable levels of mental illness.
Britain's Mental Health Foundation says the first step is breaking the taboo around getting help.
The main stigma is that it's your fault if you're struggling.
How can someone recognize that they need help?
Are there aspects of our lives that are suffering? Sleep is quite often the first one. Any changes in behavior, motivation at work, being invested in the relationships that we have.
The foundation studied the best ways to deal with problems like anxiety and depression, offering 11 tips to boost mental health, including connecting with nature, exercising, talking to someone, getting more sleep, not using alcohol and drugs to cope, and managing money and debt.
For me, exercise is a big one, sort of running and eating healthily.
I'd certainly agree from get more from your sleep, because if you don't get a decent sleep, that can really affect you.
Experts also stress it's important for parents to listen to their kids from an early age.
There's something about our societies that demonizes negative emotions. You know, we don't want sadness, we don't want anger, we don't want stress. But these are all valuable signs that something is going on.
Recognizing the signs so you can better look after yourself and those around you. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Well, an experimental treatment for asthma is showing promise. Researchers at New York University's Grossman School of Medicine have called that blocking calcium signals in cells greatly reduced asthma inflammation in the lungs of mice. And they found this approach does not compromise the body's defenses against the flu. New research finds breast cancer patients with a rare subtype called inflammatory breast cancer have an increased risk their cancer will spread to the brain. Doctors say the finding highlights the need to conduct early brain imaging for patients with inflammatory breast cancer. And eating a Mediterranean diet rich in fiber and unsaturated fats can help melanoma patients fight their cancer. Doctors in Austria say olive oil, nuts, fish, and fiber can all help the drugs used to treat melanoma work better. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
All right, as the kids get on the bus this morning, we are looking at clear skies, or mostly clear skies, 56 with the southwest breeze. Wind gets a little gusty later today, mostly cloudy, 78 by 3. As we go through today, we will remain dry through most of today. It's not until late tonight, say 9, 10 o'clock or so, that we start to see shower and thunderstorm activity increase. So when we stay dry today, don't worry. The rain is coming, and it's going to stick around for a little while. 79 for the high. We'll have partly cloudy skies, increasing clouds as we head into the evening. And then as we head overnight, that's when we get our shower and thunderstorm chances build in. Overnight low of 61, but we're going to hit that early at 2 a.m. and we start to warm back up. And we don't warm up by much, but come tomorrow, only a high of 68 on Tuesday. Rain, shower, and thunderstorm chances hold on through Wednesday, 73. Gradual warm up through the weekend, and then we watch additional shower and thunderstorm chances by next Sunday. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Coming up, the 4 states can now rest at ease as all 4 inmates escaped from the Ottawa County Jail are recaptured.
And we are watching showers and thunderstorms across central Oklahoma as they slowly make their way our way. We'll talk about those storm chances and some cool temperatures coming up.
And Columbus, Kansas celebrates its annual Columbus Days.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 6:30-ish.
6:30.
There.
6:30.
Something like that. I'm Tanya Buck.
It's Monday.
My clock over there is revolving.
Yeah, so on our weather graphics, Tanya relies sometimes on the clock over there, but right now it's in a loop mode. So it is 4:30, 5:30, 6:15. Yes. Okay, somewhere around there. But but we've got it like that because we're watching showers and thunderstorms across central Oklahoma. And you know what direction they're headed?
Here.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That's your weather trivia of the day. Yeah, no kidding. It's about time. Take a look at Skywatch Storm Tracker right now. You can see those showers and thunderstorms across central Oklahoma. Getting organized slowly but surely coming up I-44, and they'll be here late tonight. So we've got some time before they get here. Right now in Joplin, we're looking pretty good at 7th and Rangeline, 61 degrees. We've got mild temperaters for the most part. 49 Iola, though. 54 Chanute, 55 Parsons, 60 in Columbus, and 55 in the Osho. Live look at the MoDOT camera at 36 in Rangeline. Traffic picking up but still moving, so that's always a plus. In your commuter cast, For the morning commute is a green light, mostly clear skies and 50s, and rain holds off until late tonight, so we got a green light for your evening commute with increasing cloud cover and the 70s. Allergy sufferers, great news for you, as pollen counts are still falling. 4.5 out of 12 today, 2.7 out of 12 tomorrow. Kids getting on the bus this morning, they'll be dry, mostly clear at 56. A gusty southwest wind pushing 20 miles an hour, mostly cloudy, 78 by 3 o'clock. Now, as I mentioned, most of today we will remain dry, 79 for an afternoon high, but cloud cover increases, and so do the shower and thunderstorm chances as we head back to 61 early. We slowly start to warm up tomorrow. We don't do a lot of warming tomorrow, but we do have increasing shower and thunderstorm chances late tonight, say anywhere between 9 and 11 p.m. And then they're going to hold on for a couple of days. We're going to take a look at the 7-day forecast and talk about those rain chances here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I have no complaints about the cooler temperatures. I'm looking forward to fall finally getting here.
It's a nice little brief fall spell that we're getting and a great opportunity for some much needed rain.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, all of the inmates who escaped from the Ottawa County Jail last week are now back in custody. 4 inmates escaped the jail on Tuesday. One, Rusty Reese, was captured shortly afterwards. And then on Wednesday morning, a second, Buck Martindale, was also captured. However, 2 remained at large until Friday. Tyler Tavis was arrested Friday morning in Joplin. And that same afternoon, Daniel Zajac was found inside a home in Miami and taken into custody. 2 other people were arrested at the home. All 4 inmates are facing new charges from the escape. Tulsa police have named a suspect in the deadly shooting that happened a week ago at a McLean High School football game versus Miami. Police say the suspect is 16-year-old Navian Lee Golden. He's accused of shooting and killing 17-year-old Teron Yarbrough and injuring 3 others, including a 9-year-old girl. Golden is charged with first-degree murder and 3 counts of shooting with intent to kill. Authorities in Joplin Thursday night responded to reports of a possible intoxicated driver who then led them on a chase. Officers arrived to the area of 2623 West 7th Street, where the driver did not stop and led officers on a chase south of Schifferdecker Avenue. They say they deployed deflation spikes when the driver then fired 2 gunshots at officers before stopping his car. They then say he refused to leave his car and fired another shot at officers before SWAT arrived. He then complied, and officers arrested him without further incident. He has been identified as Jonathan Green and is charged with 2 counts of first-degree assault, 2 counts of armed criminal action, and resisting arrest. Well, it was time to celebrate Columbus Days in Columbus, Kansas. The annual event celebrating the city and people of Columbus included a variety of events, including a scarecrow contest, art exhibit, kite flying, quilt show, bean feed, and a hot air balloon glow.
That you will see up or do see up, those are Tony Killip kites. He's a designer in Illinois, and then our company mass produces those kites for him. So Tony's known all over the world, and then I have a few pieces that I make in collaboration with Tony.
Columbus Days wrapped up on Sunday. If you're interested in more community events like Columbus Day, just check out our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. It was homecoming week at Missouri Southern, which caused students to celebrate. The theme for this year's homecoming was Lions Level Up. And one of the main activities available for students, video games set up in the Lions Den. Who doesn't love that? On Friday, the school hosted its 45th annual homecoming picnic on the Oval.
I definitely think that students have really enjoyed this week. It kind of, next week is kind of our midterms, but it's still like, you would think people would be studying, kind of freaked out for midterms, but it really has kind of brightened up the mood. Like everyone has been coming out to events, like really enjoying themselves and having a great time this week.
Homecoming parade kicked off at 10 a.m. on Saturday, and the Lions went on to win their homecoming game 37-14.
All right, I promised I'd talk about some additional rain chances, and so I shall. 68, by the way, is as warm as we get tomorrow, but look at the overnight low, too, only dropping back down to 65, thanks to all the rain and thunderstorm chances we have both Tuesday and Wednesday. We start to warm up gradually heading into the weekend, and we watch another cool down and some additional shower and thunderstorm chances by Sunday. And I do just want to remind folks that there is the low-end chance that Tuesday and Wednesday, some of the storms we see could get a little on the strong side, maybe low-grade severe. We're not expecting anything too crazy, but of course we'll keep an eye on it here for you in the Skywatch Weather Center should any of those storms get a little nasty.
There you go. Well, that's a look at our top news stories and weather. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, we've got the cast of Theory of Relativity, talking about their play and why they're excited to bring it to the stage.
Plus, we'll also take another look at that forecast when we come back.
Welcome back. We have a couple of cast members from Pittsburgh Community Theater's newest play that's going on this weekend. Exciting about that. In studio this morning, we have Brianna Allen and Tyler Lloyd joining us from the Theory of Relativity. All right. So let's first start off by giving me a synopsis of what the play is about.
So Theory of Relativity is about a group of college-age students who are just going through life and finding out the struggles and challenges that young adults go through, while also longing for like a sense of community and people who are like us. And in whole, the show is just about experiencing the wonders of human connection. So.
Okay. Do you feel that, tell me a little bit about your roles. Tyler, the role that you guys are playing, Oliver, correct?
Yes, Oliver.
Right.
He is a kid who just really wasn't understood in his hometown and decides to go to college in New York and finds his sense of community and finds people and finds out that you don't have to act like your town. You can be whoever you want to be. So
you can be yourself.
Yes.
Yes. And then you play the role of Amy.
Yes, my character Amy, she's kind of been jilted in love a few times. She's been on several blind dates. So near the end of the play, she's getting a manicure and she's just kind of venting about, like, is this guy gonna work out? Like all these previous guys haven't. And so kind of exploring those relationships between her and these guys.
Not to get personal, but can you guys, I guess I am, feel like you can relate to your characters?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm currently single, and so is Amy, so I can relate to her that way, and just her journey to get to where she is, and I can relate to her a lot, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to you guys to do a play like this, that you guys are of similar age, you know, and it's something that represents you?
Yeah, it's really cool. I haven't really been in a show where I can more so act like myself instead of a character, so it's really cool, and we have a great cast. We're all very talented, and we're just super excited for the show.
And it's a musical.
Yes, the music is pretty good. I mean, you have great songs.
Yeah. So.
What would you say your favorite part of the play is, or musical?
I think there's a section where we all sing a cappella, and it's very, very, very cool.
Yeah.
And it's near the end of the play, and I feel like that's probably my favorite part.
I think my favorite is just us singing together, honestly. It really shows the community aspect of the show and how a bunch of people who don't even know each other can simply live in the same world and come together by fate. So.
All right. Well, Brianna and Tyler, tell me a little bit about your acting backgrounds and what you've done leading up to this play.
I've been in shows since I was a freshman, so about 6-ish years.
Okay.
I just love musicals. They're my entire life, so I just love any kind of musical, honestly.
And I also started out in high school, and I kind of took a break in college, but now I'm kind of jumping back in with community theater, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Isn't it awesome that Pittsburgh has this community theater program?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it gives that opportunity to keep going, even if that's not what your career is. You can still do it on the side. Yeah. I guess tell me a little bit more about some of the other characters that are in the play.
So we have some characters. We're all the same age group around in college. We have characters who are figuring out that they want to get engaged, but they're allergic to animals that this person has. We have characters going through breakups.
Characters just trying to figure out, their family. They're at college, and they come home, and their family life's different because they're like separate and like living different lives. And let's see.
And we also just have characters that meet on the side of the street.
That's true. Run into each other.
Yeah.
Form a connection that way.
Is most of the cast college age then?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you guys find it, did you find it a challenge, like getting rehearsal dates and times and like with everybody's busy schedules, because I know you're busy in college.
Yes. We normally, we love theater, so we normally find time for it no matter what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right, let's tell everybody when and where they can go and
Sure.
all the details.
It's at Pittsburgh Memorial Auditorium on October 14th, 15th, and 16th, Friday at 7, Saturday at, or 7:30, sorry, Saturday at 2 and 7:30, and Sunday at 2 o'clock.
So you have 2 matinee options and 2 evening options.
Correct.
And that's this weekend.
Yes, this weekend.
And do you need tickets in advance or can you get them at the door?
You can buy them in advance or at the door as well, yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Well, break a leg, both you two.
Thank you.
And we will be right back. We take this time to honor today's 4-state hero, Private First Class Max Decker. The Buffalo, Kansas native served from 1944 to 1945 as part of the 381st Field Artillery Battalion. He also earned the Good Conduct Medal. To Private First Class Max Decker, we thank you, today's 4-state hero.
All right, time for some birthdays on this fine Monday morning in the 4 states, and we begin in Girard with Hunter Cobb, turning 4 years old, and this comes with love from Mom, Dad, Sis, Grandma, and Papa Richard. Happy birthday, Hunter.
Turning 6, also in Girard, Brecken Beasley. Happy birthday, Brecken.
And we've also got Riker Conrad Johnson, turning 6 in Columbus. A very happy birthday to you, Riker.
And it's a Boogney birthday. Reed Boogney celebrating number 9 this year. Hope you have a wonderful day.
And we've got Rush Newton in Fort Scott with what appears to be a gigantic goldfish, but I'm certain that's not what that is. An excellent catch there. It's a red snapper. Red snapper. I don't do a lot of fishing, I'm sorry. But Rush, excellent catch there. I hope you have a fantastic 12th birthday in Fort Scott. And I hope you get to do a little more fishing.
Yeah, Chris, red snapper tastes a lot better than goldfish.
I don't doubt it. And it seems to be much larger than goldfish.
Yes, for sure. All right, Jaden Red is celebrating birthday number 14 this morning. Jaden is in Pittsburgh with love from Mom, Dad, and Caleb.
And we've got Brock Ross celebrating birthday number 15 in Riverton. And this comes with love from Nana and Jim. Happy birthday, Brock.
Gabrielle Richards turning 21 years old this year. Great picture there of Gabrielle.
And we've got Rihanna Dupree celebrating birthday number 34 in Webb City. Happy birthday to you, Rihanna.
Jason Ramey celebrating birthday number 43 in Fredonia.
And Dale Bogner turning 65 in Parsons. Happy birthday, Dale.
And in Joplin, turning 92 years old this year, Albert Jenkins.
We've
Happy
also
birthday,
got,
Albert.
that's a great photo, and Albert, keep on trucking, bud. We've also got Sandra Dietz celebrating a birthday in Pittsburgh. It's one of graphic artist Will York's aunts, so a very happy birthday to you, Sandra.
And Mike Carr in Girard. Happy birthday to Mike.
And our birthday list continues with Kelly Krumzik in Frontenac, Lindsay Smith in Frontenac, and Hayden Pyle in, you guessed it, Frontenac, all celebrating birthdays today.
Parties in the neck. Yep. Sherry Thompson is celebrating a birthday in Pittsburgh. Sharon Starr is celebrating in Girard, and birthday wishes also going out to Tony Papish.
And we wrap up our birthday list with Kennedy O'Brien turning 5 years old in Fort Scott, and Chris Loftus turning 36 in Webb City. And Chris, this comes with love from Brittany, Diana, Dimitri, and Evelyn. Happy birthday to you all. Now remember, if you've got a birthday, Tanya tells you how to get it here.
That's right. You can email them to us. Super simple. Birthdays with an S at KOAMTV.com or birthdays at KOAMNewsNow.com.
And while you're at our website checking out the latest news, weather, sports, and everything in between, make sure you take time to sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club. With the Birthday Club, you get some amazing deals from local businesses, and you get a nice little message from us on your birthday. So make sure you go to KOAMNewsNow.com, sign up for that Birthday Club today. All right, Skywatch Storm Tracker. On the local level right now, it is clear. But that will change because look off to the south and west. developing and building showers and thunderstorms across Oklahoma down toward to Elk City. And those will eventually make their way our way. Now, right now, though, we are dry in Joplin, and we are mostly clear. A few passing clouds out there. 61 degrees at 7th and Rangeline right now. 58 Center, 54 Chanute, 59 Columbus, and 56 in the Osho. Live MoDOT camera looking at 36 in Rangeline in Joplin. Traffic picking up but still flowing, always a good thing. And a green light for your morning commute because, well, mostly clear skies, temperatures in the 50s. And the rain we get today holds on until late tonight. So we've got another green light for your evening commute. We'll have increasing cloud cover and temperatures in the 70s. Allergy sufferers, I keep wanting to bring you the great news as it continues to evolve and it gets better and better. A 4.5 out of 12 on the pollen count today and a 2.7 out of 12 on the pollen count for tomorrow, so much better conditions. Kids getting on the bus, 56 degrees and mostly clear skies at 7 a.m. And as they head home, mostly cloudy skies, 78, but that southwest breeze starts gusting to about 20 miles an hour. Now, as we go through today, as I mentioned, we stay dry most of the day, but don't worry. The rain is still on the way. It'll be here late tonight. We'll be a high of 79, and we'll also watch increasing clouds as we head into the evening because by the time we get, say, between 9 and 11 tonight, we'll watch increasing shower and thunderstorm chances with an early overnight low of 61. We start to gradually warm up tomorrow morning, but the thing is it's a very gradual warm up. We don't really warm up a lot tomorrow. In fact, we only hit a high of 68. 73 on Wednesday as we hold on to shower and thunderstorm chances all the way through Wednesday. A warm up into the weekend and then more shower and thunderstorm chances and a cool down possible by Sunday. And a quick reminder, we are watching Monday and Tuesday. There's the slight chance for a strong, possibly low-grade severe storm with some of this activity. Not expecting anything wild, but we will keep an eye on the situation here in the Skywatch Weather Center. If anything should pop up, we will let you know. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Tulsa police name a suspect in the shooting that happened at a McLean High School football game. The suspect is 16-year-old Navian Lee Golden. He's accused of shooting and killing 17-year-old Teron Yarbrough and injuring 3 others, including a 9-year-old girl. Golden is charged with first-degree murder and 3 counts of shooting with intent to kill. 4 inmates escaped the Ottawa County Jail on Tuesday and are all back in custody. Rusty Reese was captured shortly afterwards. Buck Martindale was captured on Wednesday morning, and Tyler Tavis was arrested Friday morning. That same afternoon, Daniel Zajac was found and taken into custody. 2 other people were arrested as well. All 4 inmates are facing new charges from the escape. And a tanker rollover happened on the MacArthur roundabout late this Saturday afternoon, dumping 15,000 gallons of vinegar in Webb City. The driver of the tanker did not sustain any serious injuries, but he was transported to a local hospital. MacArthur roundabout was closed to eastbound traffic for the cleanup. And Columbus, Kansas kicked off the annual Columbus Day celebration. The event celebrated the city and people of Columbus and included a variety of events, including a scarecrow contest, art exhibit, kite flying, quilt show, bean feed, and a hot air balloon glow. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And as you head out the door today, we will be dry most of today, 79 for the afternoon high. We'll have increasing clouds later this evening ahead of showers and thunderstorms overnight. Say anywhere between 9 and 11 is when they're going to start tonight. We'll drop back to an early overnight low of 61 and then start a very slow warm up through the morning tomorrow. 7-day forecast shows where we hold on to those shower and thunderstorm chances both Tuesday and Wednesday. Only 68 Tuesday, 73 Wednesday. Gradual warm up heading into the weekend. And then by Sunday, we're watching another cool down and another shot of some showers and thunderstorms.
Well, coming up today at noon, we're making lentil and vegetable medley in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings next. Steve Hartman is back with a Kindness 101 lesson in honesty. Ahead on CBS Mornings, how a Girl Scout surprising take on truth in advertising led to a boom in cookie sales.
Oh, interested to hear about that. Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, as we've learned, it's World Mental Health Day. We learn about a community walk that's helping to bring awareness to suicide and mental health.
Plus, we meet a man who grew a 1,760-pound pumpkin just in time for the spookiest time of the year. It's a big pumpkin. That's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll do it all again today at noon.